Okay, so I had to show this quick video from Turning Point USA showcasing your favorite conservative, Candace, the great grifter Owens. Isn't she just sugar and spice? The pretentious princess of the far right. As you'll see in this video, she's doing the two things she does best. Number one, not knowing what the hell she's talking about. And number two, taking up space and blowing hot air. Well, technically, that's three things, but moving along. The video incorrectly states, Candace Owens debunks reparations scams. Not quite. Candace Owens is actually getting debunked. By a college student at that. Nevertheless, here she is without further delay.
So, why don't you think we deserve reparations? I mean, you did get a check for a racist act back when you were in high school.
So first off, these are two different points. I do not think that we deserve reparations for slavery. I was never a slave in this country, and I think that the idea, if you think that you're going to get more than $200 from the government, okay, this entire debate is just it's a joke, okay? It's never going to happen. Do you think that we're the only group? I'm just going to ask you this question that has had something awful happen to them in this country. Should the Japanese get reparations for the internment camps?
Yes,
Should
they
the
do.
Irish,
Okay,
all the
there's
Irish?
18
Who's Irish in this room? Raise your hand. Should they get, that's a lot of Irish people. Should they get reparations for the Irish need not apply during the Progressive Era and all the terrible things that happened to them? What about the Jewish people? Should they get reparations for the Holocaust?
Well, they did get reparations in Germany.
No, they didn't. That is a myth, and that
Not
is
in
false.
America.
They did not get any. They didn't get any reparations in America. Okay, here's my question. Do you understand how slippery the slope is when you start saying reparations? At the beginning of humanity, the slave trade used to be legal. It used to be legal. And do you want to know who got reparations? This is actually fascinating. I learned this from Larry Elder yesterday. In the UK, they decided to give reparations because of the slave trade when they abolished it. You know who they gave reparations to? The slave owners. Because black people were their property legally. It was legal, right? So when they got rid of it, they gave them reparations. The point is that no matter where you go in history, someone was oppressed. You cannot look to correct history by thinking that you're going to get a small check, because every single person in this room would get a check.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Candace just interrupts and talks over the student because she just simply has no idea of what she's talking about. He was right and she was wrong. Yes, the Japanese were paid reparations by the United States. And despite Candace and her on-stage companions trying to trip him up, yes, the Jews were also paid reparations by the Germans, and no, he never said the United States. Candace also sounded very excited to learn that slave owners in the UK were compensated by their government for their freed slaves. I guess she didn't learn about the Compensated Emancipation Act of 1862 that was actually passed here in the United States. Try reading a book sometimes, and you might actually learn something. And just so you know, I'm not making a case for or against reparations. I'm simply pointing out the BS that's put out here as truth every single day.